I've made a lot of videos on Marvel Comics, and a lot of them were made with good reasons, because this company isn't even anywhere near what it used to be, not even 10 years ago, which isn't that long ago if you think about it. I don't know what's happened to Marvel Comics. I don't know why they've decided to go in this really weird direction where the characters talk about their feelings all the time, or they put all these really strange political issues in the book, or that how characters are always, for some reason, eating at diners and restaurants. It's very strange. But one theme that's carried over consistently over the past couple of years is just how lazy editorial is, and how they really just they're not doing their job. Immortal Hulk here is a really good example of just how lazy editorial can be. Editorial, they don't pay any attention to anything. Immortal Hulk's also another story. That book I actually was really liking. It's one of the few Marvel books I actually was really into when it first started. And for about 20 issues, the series was something special. I got to tell you, it was really good. It was like this Hulk horror comic, and it paid a lot of respect to old horror stuff. I was really digging it. And then for some reason, about around 20 or so issues, it went from being this really cool, different horror comic book about Hulk to battling climate change. I was like, what the F is this? It took a big left turn into a wall, and I was done. More bait and switch from Marvel. The book lost like half its audience from that too. Great job, But anyway, let me show you what's going on here. So I saw these images yesterday, and people were talking about them, and now finally Comics Book Media is picking this up. It's this image right here. It's a panel from this month's Immortal Hulk issue number 43. This is Joe Fixit as Bruce Banner. There's so much going on. It's hard to explain, but basically Bruce Banner is really messed up now, and Joe Fixit, who is a previous Hulk, is now like taking control of Bruce Banner. He steals a credit card, and he has to act quick, so he goes to a jewelry store and buys a bunch of stuff. Now, the problem here is the glass in the background. And there's a couple of things. Number one, this should have never gotten past editorial. Okay? And this is just a really good example of how lazy editorial. I believe Tom Brevoort is the editor on this book, and he is notoriously lazy, and he notoriously just doesn't do his job. And I've talked about that before. There was a lot of stuff that's come out recently, and, well, not recently, it's been out. And the dude's just not doing his job. And I don't know if anybody at Marvel really does their job, but check this out. So the problem here in the background, for some reason, I guess the way the Star of David is drawn, I guess really offended some people. And then jewelry is misspelt. It's missing the L. So figure out how that spells backwards, because it's in here. So take that and spell out jewelry without the L, and you can see the problem some people are having. Like I said, this should have never gotten past editorial, but editorial doesn't do their jobs. I've always said they're partying in the bathroom or something. I don't know what they're doing. It's really weird because all of the men at Marvel that are, the top editors, they all have younger female editors that follow them around. It's really weird and strange. So I think they're hanging out with their young editors all the time. They're not doing their damn job. This is one of the reasons why when you have writers like Tom Taylor and Mariko Tamaki, right, you see them writing comics at Marvel, and the books are absolute dog shit, and you think that they're terrible, but then they go to DC Comics and they blow it out of the park. Mariko Tamaki's She-Hulk run was absolute trash. Her X-23 run was absolute trash. I've done videos on them on my other channel. And then she writes Dark Detective, and that book is a masterpiece. I haven't read Deceased by Tom Taylor at DC Comics, but a lot of people praise that book. I know Thinking Critical, that channel, praises that book. I'm hesitant to pick it up because I don't like Tom Taylor. But it would seem that the editors at DC Comics are absolutely doing their jobs, while the ones over at Marvel Comics aren't doing their jobs. And this is a really good example of that. How the F does this get past editorial? You would think you would see this clear and day. It's not really hiding it. But it got right past them. So here is the statement from the artist himself. He said on his Facebook account that drawing the name wrong was a mistake. He didn't mean to do it because he was drawing it backwards. He accidentally misspelled both of those things. And you know what? I could believe him. I think that he probably did make an honest mistake. I mean, if you look and see, this is really the only panel there. I think it might have been in one other panel. You can just see that the L is missing. It probably was an honest mistake. I do believe him. The problem is editorial should have caught it. How are they not going through each comic like with a fine-tooth comb to look for shit like this? They don't do it. I don't think they do anything. And it's pretty clear to me, especially if you see stuff like this. He also apologized for how he drew the Star of David. He failed to understand this troubling, offensive stereotype. And after listening to all of you, I don't understand my mistake. This is wrong, offensive, and hurtful in many ways. This is a mistake I must own, and I am sorry to everyone who I hurt by this. I am working with Marvel to correct this, and I am using this lesson to reflect on how I approach my stories and my work. He should be blaming, well, he's not going to blame editorial because he wants to work in the future, but I throw all this on editorial. They didn't do their job as they should have. So, I mean, it's not really that big. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. Guy made a mistake, whatever. Editorial should have caught it. There's a little bit of reading going on. It'll blow over. But I do think that this is just a great example of just how lazy the staff at Marvel Comics really is. Another big thing that happened yesterday, Batwoman was renewed. They actually renewed the show. 3 episodes in, it got renewed with failing ratings. Now, this is great. This is fantastic. Because here's what's going to happen. So this year, it's going to be a short run. I think they're only doing like 13 episodes this year. Next year, we get 20-something episodes, 24. Can you imagine how terrible the show is going to get and just how bad the ratings are going to get for this show? Because it's not getting any better. I've been watching this season. The show's not getting any better. So it's going to continue to get worse. And please, if you're going to keep going, we put some eyeshadow on the cowl around the eyes. Every bat design does this. And it looks strange. Is it because she's black that you're not putting eyeshadow there? I mean, come on. But I'm so happy they're renewing this. This is fantastic. I'm expecting some of the worst ratings ever for a TV show by the time it gets there because this show sucks. And everybody is ditching it. Nobody's watching this clown show, and it's going to keep getting worse. So thank you. Thank you, CW, for providing me with at least some consistent content for the next 2 years. I'm very happy about this. I'm looking forward to just how bad this show's going to get and how low the ratings will go. Anyway, that's pretty much it, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.